Hello, and welcome to Not Just Books, the library's monthly program about what's going on in your community and at the library. I'm Dolores Greenwald, and I'm the director, and welcome today. We have so many special guests talking about some wonderful events. One is from the Old Glory chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, talking about a luncheon fundraiser, and that is Sharon Harper and Anna Shaffer. And also, we're going to have guests talking about our poetry program in April, and that's Louise, Colln, and Vera. So sit back, stay tuned, and enjoy the program. Welcome back. I am so glad today to have two very special guests and who are members of our Old Glory chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And also, we're going to be having a spring luncheon, and they're here to talk about it. Anna Shaffer, who is our regent of the DAR Old Glory chapter, and we also have with us Sharon Harper, who's one of our chairs of this marvelous luncheon we're going to be talking about. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
I think we need to talk a little bit about the DAR in background. So, Anna, I'm glad you're here today. So tell us a little bit about the DAR and our chapter.
Well, Old Glory was founded in 1897 by a spitfire of a little gal named Susie Gentry. We've been working in the community for over 120 years now, doing all sorts of things. So many things I cannot even remember, so I have written some things down. Honestly, I cannot remember.
It's too much.
We have three main areas of interest: historic preservation, education, and patriotism. And I think my favorite is patriotism. And what that means is we reach out to veterans and our soldiers. It's very meaningful work. We have been involved with the organizations that help with PTSD. We contribute money to those folks and more. We go into the VA hospital. We have a relationship with that place, and if they have a need, they call us. Recently, they needed underwear for men. So we were having a meeting, and we said, make sure you bring some underwear, and we do that. We help pay for their Christmas party every year. Not too many years ago, we were honoring the Vietnam men who fought in Vietnam, and I guess it was about 12 men came to one of our meetings, and we honored them with a pen and a certificate, and they were in front of the room, and we thanked them. And after the program was over, one man came over to me, and he said, "No one has ever thanked me before." And these are...
That's sad.
It's sad.
It's really sad.
But it's so meaningful
Yes.
that we can be the one to offer that. So as far as patriotism, those are some of the things we do. I may have forgotten some others, but and then we're involved in historic preservation. A year or two ago now, Old Glory chapter erected a huge monument on the Natchez Trace in Timberland Park, honoring our the original settlers to Williamson County, and it was a 10-year-long project and a $10,000 project.
Wow.
So we need money to carry out our work, and then with historic preservation also, we restored the city gates to the gates to the city cemetery. Well, actually, Old Glory, 120 years ago or so, put them up, and then about 3 or 4 years ago, we restored them because they were in need of repair. Let me see what else we've done with, and we restore gravestones all the time. Just recently had 2 of them done in the city cemetery. Always busy, always looking for things to do. And then education. We go into the schools and read to children, especially during Constitution Week. Now, I don't know if your viewers know, but the Daughters of the American Revolution established Constitution Week. And before I became a member, I didn't even know there was a Constitution Week, which is embarrassing. But it's a lovely celebration to help us remember such a wonderful document. So every year we celebrate for an entire week, and we go into the schools and our members read the preamble to a lot of second graders. We have a good time doing that. And this year, we're going to have an ice cream social. This is just a sneak preview. But on the square in Franklin in September, and we will honor the Constitution and give a little bit of history. And
One thing that we do is, because I saw the kids on Tom Lawrence's radio program,
Oh, yes.
they do the essay contest, which is just excellent.
It's
I think.
wonderful. Good citizen, yes. In the high schools, they write essays, they're judged, and they can go on to Washington, D.C., and I think get a scholarship.
I thought that was a national contest.
I think the scholarship, I think it's $5,000. I mean, it's significant.
That's great.
Yeah,
And if I may interject,
I wish.
one reason I became a member of the Old Glory chapter is my sister teaches school in the Williamson County school system. And someone that day came to her class, she teaches first grade, to talk about Constitution Week.
Oh, good.
And so one thing
wow.
led to another. She said, gosh, this is a marvelous organization. Would you be interested? And so that's how we became, we being my other 2 sisters, a part of this organization.
Oh, so
That's
nice
excellent.
to
Yes,
know. Constitution Week.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it works.
Wonderful.
On many levels.
On many.
Yes.
Yes, it's all good what we do. But as far as education goes, we are replacing all the old flags in all the
Yes.
Williamson County classrooms with new ones. We hung 50 portraits of George Washington in public buildings in all of the schools.
We have one at the library.
There's one in the old city hall. They're everywhere. Do you know, I have to tell you, we hung one over in an elementary school, and we just hung it. I was part of that event, and a little boy walked by. This is going to break your heart. And he looked at the picture and he said, "Is that Mozart?"
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Now,
gosh.
heartbreaking.
Oh, wow.
So we're doing what we can.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You have anything else before we go to the luncheon, or?
Well, I'm looking to see what we also go downtown to the naturalization ceremonies. Golly, you can go down there and there are 50, 60, 70 people who have just gone through the process of becoming an American citizen. And we go and welcome them and hand them a flag. And it's meaningful to them.
It really is. I would encourage anyone that has not been to one of these ceremonies to go. You get as much out of it as the new citizens get from it. It's just
It makes
excellent.
you so grateful
Yes.
to live here.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you think of those soldiers who have gone before us and who have sacrificed to allow us to live here and do what we do. It just all fits together beautifully.
It does.
It is a great organization. And we also have an event coming up the World of Pat Kerr.
That we do.
It's our spring luncheon. So tell us a little bit about that.
We are so excited about this luncheon. This is our second annual spring luncheon. It's April 3rd at the factory. And we're most excited about our guest speaker this year. Her name is Pat Kerr. She is an international fashion designer of couture wedding gowns. She's been all over the world. Her gowns have been in the windows of Henry Bendel, Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman. Not only that, she's been in many publications, magazines, books, such as the Tiffany Wedding Book. Her gowns have graced the centerfold of that book, as well as a Plaza Wedding book. And on Martha Stewart's iconic, best-selling Martha Stewart weddings, Martha Stewart is actually wearing one of Pat Kerr designs. So we are just so thrilled to have her as a speaker for the day. She's very interesting. That's an understatement. She's multifaceted. She is just a divine speaker. But she lived in London for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And that's when she started her private collection of royal memorabilia. From Princess Diana's gowns. She owns the largest private collection of gowns, and they are currently at Kensington Palace right now. Also, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, King George III, and Queen Victoria. She actually owns the knickers that Queen Victoria wore, a pair of knickers, and her mourning veil that she wore for years when Prince Albert died. And the beauty of having Pat at the luncheon is she's bringing a lot of these museum-worthy collectibles to the luncheon. So it's just going to be a marvelous day. When you get there, the doors open at 11:30. It will be totally redesigned by a wonderful firm in Nashville, Gary Warrington Design Company.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, he is marvelous. He's very talented. He's even done the Swan Ball in Nashville. And we have so many things to do that day. You can tour and look at the exhibit that Pat Kerr's bringing. We have a marvelous silent auction, as well as a pop-up boutique.
I know, that's going to be fun, too.
It's going to be great.
How does one become a sponsor if they're interested? Or how do they get a ticket?
Great question. We do have marvelous sponsors, and we will welcome anybody who wants to become a new sponsor. As a matter of fact, here's our poster that will be in businesses throughout Williamson County. But this is the current poster with our sponsors. And our main sponsors, our Patriot sponsors for that day, is the Glazer Group and SunTrust, as well as First American, Fidelity, and Twice Daily. Now, if you're interested in tickets for the luncheon, I'm going to make sure I've got this correct. Okay, Glory TN reservations at gmail.com. And that's how you can get tickets for the day. We have tables of 10. You can bring your friends. It's going to be a really interesting day.
Last year's event was just wonderful. And you were able to do, Old Glory was able to do a lot of different things with it. I know one has to do with our special collections department at the library and a computer.
Right.
So it's a worthwhile event if you are interested in donating, but it's also going to be a lot of fun too. I can't wait to see the pop-up boutique.
Well,
It's got a little bit of everything
It does.
if you're a girl. Shopping, nibbling.
yes. The bottom line of everything is
Gowns.
bring your credit cards.
Yes.
Bring your credit
Yes,
card.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Bring
Yeah.
your credit card.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much.
You're welcome.
And we've had DAR on before, and we've just got a good relationship, the library and Old Glory, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, thank
It
you once
is
again
a
for
lot of
having
fun.
us. It's been fun.
Anytime. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In this segment today, we're going to be talking about our second annual Poets Day, which is April 21st, and that's a Saturday. It's going to be from 10 to 3:30, and it's sponsored by Poets from the Neighborhood, which we're going to talk a little bit about that too. It's going to be at the library. Have two special guests today to talk about it, and that is Vera and Louise Colln. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, I always call you Vera, but say your full name.
My poet name is VeerajaR.
So now you understand why I didn't try to pronounce the whole name. But thank you so much for coming today and talking about this. Before we get started on that, tell us a little bit about Poets from the Neighborhood.
Okay. So Poets from the Neighborhood was initiated by Sally R. Lee, one of our great poets, local poets, and my mentor. And then she and Louise, and then she left the torch with me. So I'm trying to carry it on with the help of Louise and support of all the local poets. So we bring the local poets and submissions of poetry, and also read by local poets. So we bring their works and their voices every week through Poets from the Neighborhood.
Well, that is terrific. And this event, Louise, also has an open mic poetry reading component
Yes,
to it.
we do. We have an open mic from 10:30 to 11:30 in the morning, and again from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. And everyone is welcome to come. You don't have to be a professional poet. You can just consider yourself doing it for fun, but this will be something that we'll all enjoy. And I also want to point out that everyone includes little bitty poets. Last year we had 2 small ones,
Three of them.
and they stole the show.
Three of
We
them,
loved
yes.
it.
And how old were they?
They were like 5 to 7-year-olds.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
really
How
wonderful.
awesome.
And the one little girl ran to her daddy and said, "I did it, Daddy." And everybody just loved it.
Yeah.
That's great.
We do want to tell you that there will be a place for you to sign up if you want to read. So as you come in the door, if you just stop and sign up, and then you will read as you sign. So, and this is a great part of our event. So plan to come and plan to read.
Yeah. So the sign up starts. The event starts at 10 a.m. So we start by 9:45. You can sign up, and you'll be called in the order of sign up. So, and if little kids' parents can come. Last year, a mother was, she came and prompted the daughter, so because she was shy, and then she was okay. So it's pretty cool. And we also had a Vietnam veteran poet, Stan Tyson, come and
was
read.
Stan there? Is
Yes.
he coming this time?
I hope so. I sent out.
Stan Tyson is a local institution in
Yes,
Williamson County.
And I
Franklin.
was hoping he would come, and I was about to take the podium for my reading, and I saw him coming, and I was so happy. So I gave him the podium. Enjoy. So it's for everybody. Just come up and be brave.
Your keynote speaker is Bill Brown. So, Louise, tell me a little bit about him.
He is one of our favorite poets in this whole neighborhood. He is a great teacher, and when he teaches, he becomes one of the people he's talking to, so that what you get from him is very basic or very needed ideas for your poetry, and he is a great help for anyone. He's also a great poet, and we do enjoy his poetry.
Yeah, he's really into very in-depth, from the heart kind of person. So it revolves around people. His parents he has written about, really touching poems, and also nature. He has a way of wrapping around nature and people.
That's excellent.
And so when I asked him, because we don't have a budget, so it's a voluntary basis, everything that we do, and hopefully in the future we hope we'll have sponsors and some financial backup. But so when he accepted the invitation, we were very thrilled that it's his effort and the heart to do it.
I respect poets and people who write poetry, because to me it seems like it's just a totally different world from writing fiction or nonfiction. So talk to me a little bit about that, Louise. How different is it different for you to write poetry as opposed to something else, or?
Yes. I think writing poetry perhaps goes deeper inside you than particularly writing nonfiction. Sometimes in fiction you get so involved in it that you're taking everything out of yourself. But writing poetry, you think in lines, you think in words. You think in, this is what my whole poem wants to be about. And I think it is perhaps a bit more from deeper inside you than...
More personal.
Although both may be, but it's different in writing them.
And Vera has a book that she has. Do you have it with you?
Yes, I do have. I was going to read a poem exactly for this point
Okay.
that I wrote, because it's a wonder how you are able to write poetry.
Okay.
And,
Real quick, because we're
Yes.
almost out of time,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay. So this is from my book, Joy of Being, a timeless dance. From me, how these verses flow, free as a river, I do not know. But I feel the duty is mine to share God's grace the shine. From the one who maketh thine atoms core and danceth within, but extends beyond the galactic spins to timeless stillness that sustains. From him created you and me, thus taketh form in visible space. But at heart ticking is his grace, to dance in joyful life with peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the event is April 21st from 10 to 3:30 at the library on Columbia Avenue.
And the mayor is coming.
And the mayor's coming to
open.
welcome everyone. Thank you so much, ladies. And
you.
we'll be right back.
The Lotz House. Johann Albert Lotz was a German immigrant who ventured into the United States in 1855, hoping to establish a new life for himself and his family. A master in piano making and carpentry, it took Lotz roughly 3 years to build his American home. The house was a show home in order to demonstrate his work to potential clients. The detailed furnishings were a testament to the dedication he gave to his craft. In November of 1864, the Lotz house was caught in the middle of the deadly Battle of Franklin. Troops seeking protection from gunfire dug trenches around the premises. Johann feared that his wooden home wouldn't be enough to protect his family from the surrounding chaos, so he moved them across the street to the brick-laid Carter house. They hid there until the last shot was fired. When they finally stepped outside, the Lotz family was horrified to see the dead and wounded everywhere, with the body count amounting to nearly 10,000 men. The Lotz house was used as a temporary hospital for the next several months. Today, the Lotz house is as beautiful as it was 159 years ago, faithfully preserving Johann's original craftsmanship. Guided tours are offered throughout the year, showcasing the Civil War history that is packed in each room. There is also a selection of original paintings and portraits by the famous Matilda Lotz, Johann's daughter, who is recognized as one of the world's first premier female artists. Admission is $10 for adults, $9 for seniors, and $5 for children. There is even a gift shop for purchasing souvenirs. The site was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1976. The Lotz house truly is a beaming example of the rich Civil War history of Williamson County.
Thank you for joining us today on Not Just Books. Also, I'd like to thank our guests, Sharon Harper and Anna Shaffer with the Old Glory chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and Louise, Colln, and Vera, who are sponsors of our poetry event in April. Please follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, facebook.com WCPLTN, and twitter.com WCPLTN. We're always looking for feedback and suggestions on how we're doing, not only on this program, but also on the library as a whole. You can sign up for our weekly e-blast at ref@williamson-tn.org, and that will tell you all the programs coming up for the library. It's the easiest way to find out what's going on. And thank you again so much for joining us. And until next time, explore your world and read.
Bird Nests, Winter, by S.R. Lee. A neighborhood of nests, similar in size, placed closer than expected. Birds' nests, not squirrels' twig collections. When leaves were green, nests had privacy, from human eyes at least, and baby chirpings were subdued by thick foliage. Chill days suggested winter. Fledglings grown had long departed these nesting shelters. Leaves dropped, revealed the abandonment. Now, nests black as tree bark against gray skies, nests which once nurtured families, become useless for practical purposes, remain beautiful nevertheless. Black shapes silhouetted in gray light's unlimited space.